family, and friends. My name is Brian Ibanez, and here with me today is Jeffrey Crabb. Today we're coming at you to talk to you about our journey and how we're working through it and dealing with this coronavirus and our perspective about it. But before we start, Jeffrey, can you please tell the audience about this new series on our channel?
Yeah, so we're starting up this new series that we're calling Discovery with DC. And it's really just going to be an opportunity for us to share our experiences with you all as we work through not just this, but DC life, our growth, story of growth, our journey in the months to come, what we're learning and growing and discovering along the way. And our hope is that through sharing those experiences that you all are able to take away some different pieces of information and ideas and things that help you to advance your organizations also. So, we're not going to ever pretend to be experts on the subject matter because it's really a process and a journey for us. So that'll really be my heart behind it, is just to share our story and the things that we're learning, the things that we're discovering, so that we all can learn and grow together.
Yes. Well, let's hop right into it, man.
Yeah.
So tell me, what has it been for you, and as well as the DC team, dealing with this COVID-19?
Yeah. So, the word that comes to mind right away is just adjustment. It's just been a massive adjustment on so many levels, not just, of course, for Diamond C, but for really the world. For our experience, where we've been the last few weeks, is it's shaken us a little bit in that we have worked so hard for many months. The end of last year, worked really hard to prepare our 2020 plans, and not just what we were going to accomplish in the year, but then we break that down by quarter to what are our strategic objectives for the quarter, and that's all a part of a 3-year plan. We call it a 3-year picture. It plays into a 10-year vision even. So you can imagine we've invested all this time and all this strategic planning and the resource allocation and who's doing what, when, where, and all of our leadership teams are tuned to that and working that direction. 2020, the first quarter was off to just our best start ever. As we've gotten better and better at developing and managing these plans the last few years, we were off to our best start ever. Into mid-March.
And that's because of systems and putting the right people in the right place.
Exactly. It's having an incredible leadership team. I mean, like you said, right people, right place. Incredible leadership team. And then the leadership kind of management system that we use week to week, how we drive the organization forward. Having all that in place, strong. We were making really good progress for the year. Really right on track with where we set out to be, which is a 45% growth rate to start the year. Phenomenal progress, and we were just pumped to be, hey, we worked so hard to prepare this plan and we're killing it. I mean, we're right on track with the plan. And then middle of March comes COVID-19.
Yeah.
And it started impacting our business through supply chain. So can we get the right parts, the right time? And we were pretty successful in managing through that piece of it. The purchasing team did a phenomenal job and was doing a great job of managing through that. And then as different states and parts of the country started going into a shelter-in-place mode, it started shutting down a lot of our dealers where they couldn't take deliveries.
Okay.
And as more and more states went to shelter in place, it became really difficult we couldn't stick to our plan. We had to adjust our plan radically for the short term here. So I was at a operations leadership meeting last week, and we walk into the meeting, everybody opens their laptops, we look down at our spreadsheet that we use to track our progress.
The calendars.
Yeah, exactly, the calendars, and we all just started laughing. Well, we don't need that agenda for today. That's good for nothing. So let's move on to where are we right now and what are we going to do tomorrow or next week? And I think that,
like you said, adjust.
Yeah, huge adjustment for everyone's plans that they had for the short-term future out the window.
Yes. Yeah, but let's look at the bright side. we're in this new office.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about it? What are the vibes and what is the outlook of it?
Man, so, we got moved into the new office on March 13th is when we moved, which, I've said many times over, is just God's divine timing, because the old office was so small for the team that with social distancing requirements and and all of that, we could hardly function at this point if we were still in the old office. So just great timing for us to get moved in. But a big part of this office space and the plan over the last about 4 years that we've been developing it was community space. So it's really wide open. It's set up to host dealers, to host different community events, to have big team events, team building events, leadership training, all these different things. Phenomenal space for that. We got moved in on March 13th. First day of business, March 16th in the new office. And then within 10 days, we're putting signs on our doors that say, no visitors allowed, team members only. So again, kind of like the adjustment to our overall business plan for this season, just total change of pace in what we intended to do with the new office. We had a big ribbon cutting event on the calendar that it's postponed until all this clears up. So, all that stuff, all those adjustments can really, they can be disheartening.
It's like someone said, it's like getting yourself dressed up and you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, like being all dressed up and nowhere to go. That's how we felt. We got moved to the office, we were all dressed up and nowhere to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's obviously going to be an incredible tool for the future, which is what we're all about.
Exactly. Yeah, right now we're seeing across town, Mount Pleasant, the state, the nation, a lot of businesses are closing down or cutting hours or even closing down. But how is Diamond C, what's the current state of Diamond C?
Yeah. So on April the 9th is our last normal day of production for a couple of weeks. So as dealers started having to close down for the shelter-in-place orders, we very, very quickly realized that we couldn't keep building trailers at the same pace, and managed through that day by day for the last few weeks, and then got to the point of saying we've got to take a break from production for a couple of weeks. So from now until probably around April 27th is when we're going to reopen production.
Okay.
We've got all of the normal production teams are off for the next couple of weeks. We're not doing any layoffs through that. We're keeping the team intact and paying them through that, which is just a huge blessing to be well positioned and able to do that. Keep the team intact through their time off. But then the rest of the team, so a lot of the infrastructure in the office that keeps the business running, and the R&D team, maintenance teams, engineering teams, all of those are still operating almost as usual, just with accommodations for social distancing and no meetings in confined spaces and additional sanitation requirements and all those kind of things.
Okay. So with all this change, especially with the production team, right, cutting hours and now, closing down for 2 or 3 weeks, how is the production team handling it? And have you heard any feedback from them? What are they saying?
Yeah, so far they've responded just phenomenally.
Was that what you expected?
Not so much. Anytime somebody's getting their hours reduced, regardless of the reason why. Everybody knows that it's a worldwide pandemic. There's nothing that we can do to avoid impact from it. But regardless of the reason why, typically folks don't respond well to hour reductions. And it's not what anybody's asking for. It's not where we wanted to be over the last few weeks as we had to step down production schedules. But man, I'll give you one example of so this was a couple of weeks ago. We had the first hours reduction we did, or production reduction that we did. I was walking through the plant, ran into a young man whose hours had just been reduced. He just found out about it that morning. We had put the message out that we were going to be adjusting schedules. And I was expecting to hear some concern, some not necessarily complaint, but just concern. And I didn't expect him to be in the best of spirits, And before I even said a word to him, his response to me, his comment to me was, he's like, man, we got your back. Just want to let you know, we're here for you. Anything we can do, we're going to fight through this. We all know that we're going to be okay and we're going to get to the other side. And I walked away literally with tears welling in my eyes, just shaken by it, because it was just such a huge demonstration of the heart and soul of this company and the heart and soul of this team. And, the people here, the team here is just bought into the vision. I mean, they get it, they understand the long term.
They know it's temporary.
Yeah, they get the purpose and what we're trying to accomplish, and they're here to help make the world a better place through what we're doing here at Diamond C.
Mm-hmm.
So they see beyond this short-term challenge.
Okay.
And man, I'm just we have been so blessed by that so far. That's not to say that every situation out there with the all 450 team members is all roses, because it's a challenging time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying our team spirit, our resolve for the long term is much stronger than this situation that we're working through right now.
It's more of a family setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but as far as obviously production's taking a little 2-3 week break, but the teams that are here, which like you said, the R&D, engineering, marketing, sales, what's taking place in those departments?
Yeah, man, just lots of things. Again, going back a couple of weeks to when we started realizing that our business plan was going to be significantly interrupted for a time period. We started as soon as we realized we're going to have to take a break from production. What does that mean for us? What can we do during that time? How are we going to invest that time? The conversations among the team, the leadership team were,
what's in our control that we can do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the conversations were around what can we do to invest this time and come out stronger. In any situation, we've got the opportunity to respond a few different ways. Right away, we said, we can lay down and take this as it comes and be a victim of COVID-19, or we can look for the opportunity within the challenge.
Embrace it.
Embrace the struggle through it. Fight through it, yearn, really dig in deep and work hard to invest the time to advance our team and our customers and our community through the process. And that's exactly what's happened. We right away met with, I can't remember the order of the teams, but we met with the marketing team right away and talked through, okay, we've got to amp up our efforts beyond what we've ever done before. We've got resources available, human resources available, people, talent available that are usually consumed with running production and running all the other parts of the business. How can we use those resources that are available and the time that we have available the next few weeks to bring our community of customers and followers on social media and trailer users and all the above, how can we invest that time to advance their positions, to get them very well prepared for the upside, to get our team, to advance our team, to strengthen our team, to invest in leadership training, all these different things. And so right from that first meeting, we brainstormed over 30 different marketing projects for the next month that a few of them were on the calendar before, most of them were not. And it's just really phenomenal, kind of meaty content that is going to be just great for our dealers, for any small business owner. I mean, some of the stuff we're doing is kind of small business finance 101.
And Jeff is doing that, right?
Yeah, our CFO is coming into that. I'm gonna help lead that content development and produce videos and push that content out. And again, just another resource to try and make available to not just our dealers, but anyone running a small business out there, which is a ton of our trailer customers. What can we offer? Any resources or insights or tips or anything that help them to advance their businesses? And then to trailer models. I mean, we've got several new products coming out real soon that we'll talk about engineering here more specifically in a minute, but we've been able to really advance the timeline on some of those engineering projects. So marketing's calendar is just stacked right now with all these new product debut videos and things that we're putting together to publish out to all of our followers on all the different social media channels,
Yes.
Through our website, through YouTube, through email blast, push out all this
All the social
content.
media platforms.
Yeah, all the different platforms
Yes.
to get our organization, the people we work with, the people that are out there using our trailers as well positioned as we can for the upside.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that yes, there will be individual content in Facebook, YouTube, on Facebook and stuff like that, Instagram. But there's also a link that we'll have on the website, right? I believe it's called
for sure. Learning Center. Yeah.
Learning Center.
Yes,
And
Learning
I
Center.
believe they will have DC Live, trailer options, and the other one. See the difference?
That's right. So it's on our website, diamondsea.com. Learning Center just launched. Again, one of those projects that we've had in the works for a while, but the series of events the last few weeks has allowed us to accelerate that, go ahead and get that published. It went live, I believe, over last weekend, just a few days ago. And right now there's a ton of information there about different options, trailer options and things, but all this content that I'm talking about that we're putting together for our dealers, small business owners, trailer users, all of that stuff is also going to live there. So as time goes on the next several weeks, that Learning Center will become a really valuable resource.
Yes. Yeah, I believe Benji from the marketing team has a video explaining more about it, and I'll just go ahead and link it in the description. That way you guys can just watch it and get more details about it.
Cool.
Details about it. But yes, so as far as we see that the marketing team has a lot of stuff on their plate. What about the R&D engineering team?
Yeah, so that it correlates with marketing, of course, in many ways. But engineering, had their 2020 plan. What months, what projects were happening. It's been a labor of love to get that, our engineering department advanced, develop that organization. But again, as we started making progress, this opportunity came along and we said, okay, we're about to have a team of specialty trailer builders, expert fabricators, all these, tenured production managers available for a couple of weeks. They're going to be available to help out with projects, different things as needed, whatever is a diligent investment for the future. And so through those conversations, just like marketing ended up with 30 different projects, we took the engineering schedule, added a number of things to it, and we've got about 20 different projects in engineering being accomplished in the next 1 month, which includes things from brand new product development. We asked Jacob, the sales VP, and the team, we said, what products could we bring to the table that would be most impactful to our dealers and to our customer base? What are they asking for? They gave us great feedback. One of those, in a matter of days, went from just concept to we've already got full 3D renderings done, ready to produce a prototype. And then several of the new products that we had already under development have been really fast-tracked and advanced, just because, again, we have some resources available that we usually don't. This feeding right into that marketing plan.
Yes.
And then the other side of that, R&D, is very heavily involved in operations and kind of the industrial engineering side of it. So the R&D team is partnered with the operations managers, and for the next 2 weeks while production is on break, they've got a long list of tune-up projects, we can call it. So from all the way from things like weld fixtures that we've had in the back of our minds for a year, that we could make that a little better, but it's not as much of a priority today. Well, this is our golden opportunity to tune up all those fixtures. So we're going to come back with weld fixtures, and man, the list is impressive. It's about 15 different weld fixtures that are going to be reconditioned in the next 2 weeks, and they're going to come back not only more efficient but more accurate, better, more consistent, and more efficient too, which is just going to fuel that future growth and success. They're moving one of our weld robots and installing a workstation crane over it, which again is just one of those moves that, if full production was running, would have been so much more difficult and such a longer process, that this is just a golden opportunity for us to get a lot of that done. It's going to really tune up our production operation. So when we start back, our team is ready to really
be
run
more efficient.
Yeah,
Yes.
more efficient. They're gonna all those things will support quality, efficiency, team member success, overall value. It's going to be really great improvements to the operations at the same time.
Yes, and then also I heard with engineering, another other project they have is kind of like tuning or just tweaking some little things, minor things to make trailers that we already have just be more efficient. Not just new trailers, but tweak some of the stuff that we have now.
Absolutely, there's a number of options that are being renewed, refreshed, different things like that will again help us just to come back stronger.
Yes.
The product itself and the team and all.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about the sales team? How are they coping with things?
Yeah. So huge adjustment. Theme of the day. Huge adjustment for the sales team. With many of their dealers being under shelter in place, they've had some time also, and so through those same kind of strategic planning conversations, what can we do in this time? Not worried about what we can't do, but what can we do in this time? They have worked through a plan to divide and conquer, so to speak. So one of the sales guys is working on marketing videos nearly every day, doing a great job at that. He jumped in there and he's a natural. A couple of the others are doing a lot of market research through statistical surveys for their current customers, even on what products are selling in what regions and how well are you positioned in that, and doing anything they can to help position their customers for the comeback. And then one of the guys has a background in AutoCAD, and he's even working with the stacking and shipping team to help optimize that process for load planning in the future. So they're rising to the occasion, and those teams that we've just been talking about on production is off. Our challenge to them has been, this is not a time for us to take it easy and kick back and relax. This is a time for us to dig deeper than we've ever dug, to make sure that the other 400 people that work here and our customers, our community abroad, that we're very well positioned for the comeback.
Yes.
And that they've embraced it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I've been walking around the office and everything, and I see all these, salespeople and everything. They're always on Zoom calls, and they're making it happen.
Yeah.
And I believe they're building a strong relationship with the dealers.
Absolutely. That's one of the things with, again, just a bit of a slower pace. They've got more time to invest where it makes sense. And hopefully all of our customers out there are beginning to see and feel that. And definitely, like we've talked about, all that new content rolling out. just the last few days is when the first publishing has started, but it's going to be like a freight train the next few weeks. We're going to be rolling it out as fast and hard as we can to just make sure we're doing our very best effort to equip our dealers and our trailer owners and users out there and our fans and followers on social media channels just to really advance and grow through this and come out stronger on the other side.
Yeah, and now I can see why you're so excited about it and everything. All these projects are in the works. But a personal question, man. How are you, Jeffrey, right? How are you coping and staying sane while all this stuff?
Yeah. Man, there's definitely been some really challenging days the last few weeks. I don't think anybody almost in the world right now would disagree with that. There's been some really challenging days when we go from a really steady, constant plan to so much uncertainty in our personal lives. I have 5 kids, 4 of which were in school, and overnight my wife became a homeschool mom. And my kids went from
Crab Elementary.
Crab Elementary. My kids went from public school, which they loved, to homeschool overnight. So huge shock and adjustment on all fronts. And man, one of our fundamentals here, fundamental number 19, it's called, we say, keep the faith. It's one of the things that we use to build our culture, cultivate our culture here. And it is so true to who we are, so true to who I am. And to who my parents were when they started the company, to the legacy of the company. Keep the faith beyond the struggles of the day, beyond the challenge of the day. keep that long-term view that life's going to go on beyond the struggles of today, and that we can and we will be successful. And I think that definitely is what my heart and my mind is set on right now through this challenge. And that's how, the only way I've kept any sanity, just God's grace through that, of giving me God's grace, of the encouragement, like I've mentioned a couple of stories from team members encouraging me, just charging me up to keep my eyes fixed.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, exactly, not alone at all. Keep my eyes fixed on that road ahead and know this is a temporary detour in our plan, but from it, man, and what I'm so excited about, a lot of these projects and things that we've talked through are dreams that we've had for a long time, but we just haven't had the time and opportunity to get to them. And that's what's so exciting about the next few weeks is I have so much confidence that the moves we're making right now are just going to be very impactful to this team and our customers and our brand, just to make sure that when we start seeing states come out of shelter in place and things start moving again, we're gonna move fast. We're gonna advance back to where we were.
Keep that momentum, yeah.
We're gonna keep the momentum.
Yes.
And I think I wanted to share one more story about a team member that I ran into out on the yard last week. We passed each other just walking by. His name is Polo, a young man that's one of the leaders in operations. And we just passed by each other, headed opposite directions, and he comes around and says, "Hey," and I said, "Yeah, Polo, what's up?" He says, "I just want to tell you, the sun always shines after the storm." And I said, "You're right, Polo. The sun will shine after the storm." And we kept moving, and it was just phenomenal encouragement to me, and I think it really represents the spirit of this team. Is we know the sun's going to shine after this storm, and man, we are preparing for that. We're getting ready for it.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Jeffrey, for your time. It was a pleasure. And this wraps up episode 1 of this new series. Until next time.